TNT Sports presents NASCAR. Tonight it's the NASCAR Busch Series from the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. Hi everybody, Bill Weber along with Wally Donneback. Thanks for having us in for the race. Our partner Benny Parsons feeling much better this week. He plans to make the trip to Bristol tomorrow morning to share the Sharpie 500 with all of us tomorrow night. But tonight, it's 43 cars on a high-banked half-mile track for 250 laps, a recipe for traffic and ill tempers.
This is the prime rib of short tracks. I'll tell you what, this is a fun race. There's a lot of bumping and banging. There's always action going on for the Busch race. It's always exciting. There's no place to go. You've got to be down on the bottom. Everybody tries to run the bottom, and this is what happens when everybody tries to run the bottom. So you're going to see a lot. I think everybody's going to be calm the first part of the race, but then those tempers and that aggression will start really coming out the last 50, 60 laps of the race.
We heard Jeff Burton talking about it. You have to be patient and aggressive and know when to bewitch.
Yeah, you really do. And for the first part of the race, everybody's going to be a lot of giving and taking, and everybody will be calm. But like I said, once you start getting run into about 15 or 20 times, then you start losing your temper. And like I said, towards the end of the race, that's where you'll see the fireworks really taking place.
There's been a lot of activity on the track here already today. You've been down there. You've seen a lot of loose race cars.
A lot of loose race cars, especially a lot of race cars that are loose into the corner, which is very difficult because you want to run the bottom. And if you're loose getting into the corner, you're going to slide up the racetrack and not lose 1 or 2 positions. You can lose 15 or 20 positions because it's like a train goes by.
And if you're starting at the back of the field, you can already see the front of the field, only it's in your mirror.
That's the big problem starting in the back is if you don't have a good race car at the start of the race, you can get lapped in a hurry here, and that's not what you want to happen.
There are 160,000 seats here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Originally 18,000. But as you can see, the fans have come out for the Busch Series. Wally called it the prime rib of short track racing. Well, when you're done with this event, you don't have any room for dessert. 43 cars ready to go racing for the NASCAR Busch Series. Kevin Harvick is the championship leader, and there is talent spread well throughout this field. The fans are set to go. Hope you are too. BP, enjoy the race. Let's go down and get the command.
Now, race fans, the Grand Marshal of tonight's race, Miss Claudia Bird from Speedway Children's Charities, to give you the command, the most famous phrase in auto racing.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Three cars roar to life, and there is thunder in the hills of Tennessee. Take a look at the championship standings as we get ready for race number 26. Kevin Harvick running away with the championship, but this is the kind of race that can put a dent in that lead. Denny Hamlin's moved up to second, and you can see the championship standings all the way back to Kenny Wallace in the 10th spot. Here's the starting grid for tonight's NASCAR Busch Series race. Ryan Newman on the pole alongside of Reed Sorensen. Clint Boyer in row 2 with Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, and Kyle Busch are in row 3.
Row 4, Mike Skinner. Mike runs this place really good. He could be a threat tonight. Jeff Burton, have Hornaday and Paul Menard in row 5. Greg Biffle and Scott Wimmer in row 6.
Row 7, Kenny Schrader making a Busch Series start tonight next to Carl Edwards, fined $20,000 following the Busch race at Michigan a week ago. Eric Amarella is in row 8 with Jamie McMurray. Row 9, Ashton Lewis Jr. and Daniel Quinn.
J.J. Yaley and Jason Lemper will be in row 10. Bernie Lamar, Denny Hamlin, row 11, and row 12, Kenny Wallace and David Green.
Johnny Sauter and John Wood are in row 13. Regan Smith and Shane Huffman driving for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 car. Mike Wallace, Kevin Harvick all the way back in the 30th starting spot.
Row 16, Todd Cleaver, Tim Sauter. These guys all have their work cut out for them. David Rudeman, John Andretti in row 17. Stephen Light and Shane Hall in row 18.
Jay Sauter, Augie Vidovich are in row 19. Eric McClure made the race in the 04 car. He's next to Stacy Compton. Steve Grissom, Kevin LePage in row 21. And Curtis Davis got the 43rd starting spot for tonight's NASCAR Busch Series race at Bristol. You see the drivers that failed to qualify. Casey Kane, Kevin LePage to the back for an engine change. And that gives you a long way to go here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Cars lined up on pit road. Let's get the final stories from downstairs, and here's Matt Yoakum.
Bill, back in the spring of 2005, Kevin Harvick qualified 38th and then went to victory lane. Now, Casey Kane had a stellar qualifying effort, 5th, but as you mentioned, due to an engine change, he's now going to have to roll to the back and start from the rear of the field. Now, Casey told me, expect that 9 car to really be on an e-ticket ride kind of night. He's going to try to find a cushion, but also his crew chief, Trip Bruce, is going to try to work some pit strategy to try to cycle him up to the front. Thinks even though he's at the back, when they drop the green flag, he should have a great run here tonight, and he starts back in the back, but on his pit stall, he is 3rd coming off of turn number 2. Now let's go further up the backstretch pit road to Marty Snyder.
And Matt, certainly the man making the news in the Busch Series this week was Carl Edwards after the probation and fines he was levied after the incident with Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Michigan. I asked Carl moments ago, does all of what happened this week change at all how you approach tonight's race? He said, you know what? Probably not. I will maybe a little less aggressive, but one thing I can guarantee you, I will not retaliate this weekend if anything happens to me. But I don't think it'll change my driving style on the racetrack. After all, I still have to try and win the race. But I will not retaliate. In fact, he said you'll see the calmest Carl you've ever seen this weekend. Dave?
Marty, one of the guys pitting off of turn 4 is the 16 car of Greg Biffle, a little different colors tonight, green and black. For Bristol in the Busch Series, for Biffle, it's been like a slow dining experience. You know, ultimately you get fed, well, sometimes, but it's not a very pleasurable experience. Here at Bristol, Greg has finished in the top 5 4 times. He's led 188 laps, but he's never won. He goes for that goal tonight, Alan.
Well, Dave, Kyle Busch is starving for some success in the NASCAR Busch Series. His team has finished out of the top 10 in 10 of the last 11 races. Kyle Busch won the race here back in March, the last time the NASCAR Busch Series ran here. He feels like he has a car that's a potential winner tonight, certainly a top 3 runner. We'll see if they get the strategy right. We'll see if they miss all the trouble that's bound to happen in a night full of racing at Bristol. Bill?
Thanks, Alan. You guys have a great race down there. It is a fantastic menu when you come to Bristol. A lot of excitement. And some guys aren't going to be happy at the end. Got a few pace laps to run. We'll take a break, come back, give you the green flag at Bristol. NASCAR Busch Series racing from the Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series. And by Pennzoil, not just oil, Pennzoil. Outstanding crowd here for the NASCAR Busch Series race tonight. You can see all the flash bulbs popping. The field getting the 1-to-go signal. This is more than just an appetizer for tomorrow night's main course. This is an exciting 250-lap race and a lot of pressure for these guys in the NASCAR Busch Series.
Let's not forget about the split double pits here. Got a lot of cars on the backstretch pitting as well as the front.
And two different pit road procedures.
Right.
Whether you're coming in under yellow or under green. You have to be aware of that. Under yellow, everyone must enter off of turn 2. Under green, you enter on the pit straight that you are on. We'll diagram that for you as the race goes along.
And somebody will blow that.
Oh, yes, they will. And that will be a costly mistake. Lights out on the pace vehicle. Ryan Newman starting on the pole, ready to bring the 43 cars to the green flag at Bristol. Hope you enjoy NASCAR Busch Series racing live on TNT. Just hang on tight.
Clean so far.
Look quick.
Well, I spoke too soon.
Yes, you did.
Jay Sauter,
yep.
Yeah.
That's a big hit.
And, oh, you know, this thing, you're just like, well, this is Bristol half track. You're really not going that fast. Well, you know what? You are going pretty fast, and when you hit the wall, you hit it a ton. More than likely not a single car incident. It looks like somebody in front of him got into somebody, and they kind of turned and hit Jay's right front fender and got him out of shape.
Safety crews to the car of Jay Sauter. First caution is out. There'll be a lot more tonight. Still under caution. That's the car of Jay Sauter. He has climbed from it, and here's one more look.
All right, watch right here. Here's Jay, and watch those two cars there. Looks like John Andretti gets into Tim Sauter, and Jay just kind of slides up the racetrack into John Andretti's left rear fender, and kind of wrecked himself, really.
Take another look. You'll see a lot of this tonight, more of it tomorrow. A lot of cars, just not a lot of room. And Jay was able to climb out of the car under his own power. So he's the first casualty tonight here at Bristol. Wrecked car, disappointing dreams. Comes to an end early for Jay Sauter. Field here at Bristol has just gotten the 1 to go signal as they cross the start finish line. 8 laps are complete, most of them under caution after the wreck by Jay Sauter. And this is when the field really gets strung out, the early caution. And now they've waved off the 1 to go, debris on the racetrack.
Yeah, the guys that are in the back, like Casey Kane's in 39th spot, he's half a lap back already. When they get the green, he'll be 3/4 of a lap.
And everybody's going to be fighting for position as they charge into turn 1. It's just a great experience coming here. The Busch race is a lot of fun on Friday night. Nextel Cup race tomorrow night. And once again, the field gets the 1 to go. Newman, Sorensen, Clint Boyer, Matt Kenseth, Kyle Busch, the top 5. Let's check with Dave.
With Jay Sauter now, very unhappy to be out this early. I know it was a little confusing what happened there because there seemed maybe there was or maybe there wasn't contact.
Yeah, I really don't know. I just know the back end stepped out, and Western Union Chevrolet's out of the race early. It's too bad. The guys have been working real hard, and we've had better cars every week, and I kind of let them down tonight, I feel like.
Short tracks were where you guys could really hope to shine.
Yeah, you got to love Bristol. We love all the short tracks. Looking forward to being in California next week.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing Jay there, guys.
Thanks, Dave. And one thing, just a quick point before we go back to green, you do hit hard here.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't seem like you'd be going that fast on a half-mile racetrack, but you see all the damage to his car. That's how fast you're going.
Try it again. Ryan Newman takes him to the green.
Looks like Boyer's taking a look under Sorensen, but wasn't there.
Sorensen got in front of him at the start.
Kyle Busch is going to try the outside line on Kenseth.
Matt in the 17. Skinner right behind him in that 12 car.
Makes it work. Kyle Busch takes over 4th spot.
Now he goes to work on Clint Boyer. Kyle Busch runs well here.
Got that car right down on the bottom, almost on the apron through the corners.
That's where you want to be.
Boy, his car is working good. You get him. He got on the throttle. He had to get off the throttle just because Boyer wasn't getting through the corners as well. So right now, Kyle Busch has got a pretty fast race car.
How long does that camera get to stay with us tonight?
Hopefully for a little while. It's a great shot.
It's fantastic. Field is now spread out over 3/4 of this half-mile racetrack.
And the thing is, you want to be careful. You don't want to slip because everybody is so single file right now. If you slip up, one guy gets you. A whole bunch of them are going to be on the bottom trying to put you to the back of the pack.
What's your spotter saying?
Yeah, clear. Car inside, car inside, car inside. And here you go. Matt Kenseth's going to take that spot back away.
So Kenseth gets the position back from Kyle Busch. Dave?
Hey, Weber, see that gap in front of the 2, the one that was making Kyle Busch a little anxious earlier?
Yes.
Well, the 2 cars way too tight. He radioed that to his crew, and he told them in real specific terms. So they're going to have to work on that race car. Clint not happy with it for the moment.
So there was no doubt he was unhappy. Is that what you're saying, Dave?
Exactly.
Okay. Boyer runs 3rd behind Sorensen in 2nd, and Ryan Newman, the race leader.
I'm actually a little surprised how this thing is so strung out already.
Right.
There's a lot of gaps in between these cars. Hornaday taking a spot from Skinner.
Yep. On the bumper at Jeff Burton. Now Paul Menard's going to try inside of Skinner driving the 12 car.
See, that's what I was talking about. Skinner slid up. He gave one spot away. Now he's got 3 cars right here. Nose to tail. He's probably going to lose all 3 of these spots. But he does have an opening. He might squeeze in there. No, I didn't think Biffle was going to let him do that. But he does have an opening, so he can get back in line.
Behind the 14 car.
Yeah, the 14 car.
That's Scott Wimmer in the 14. So Skinner's lost 3 spots, and Wimmer wants to make it 4. This goes on back about the 10th position. Wimmer takes it.
Yeah, it's just hard to get grip up in the middle of the racetrack, on the top of the racetrack. All the grip right now is down on the bottom.
Take a look at some of the guys moving through the field. Drop back and see if we can't find championship leader Kevin Harvick.
Oh, there's some contact right there.
Yes, there is. Denny Hamlin and Bernie Lamar. Lamar in the 77. Oh, car in the wall in turn 3. Eric McClure. Go back and look at some of this.
Here's the first bump. Here's Hamlin trying to get underneath the 77 of Bernie Lamar. Gets just into the back of him, moves him out of the way.
It's a typical Bristol move.
Yeah, that's a typical Bristol move.
Now on the backstretch.
Wow. Well, it looks like Ryan Newman just ran over the 04 car.
On board with Clint Boyer.
Oh. Who else got involved in that?
That's Sorensen.
Reed Sorensen, wow.
He was running second. Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, the site of tonight's Food City 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series. Good racing, but some guys leave in a bad mood. Down the backstretch, watch the 39 of Ryan Newman.
And he just drives up and just tags the 04. Unfortunately, wrecks the 04 and the second place car, Reed Sorensen. And Sorensen is not very happy about it, and I couldn't blame him.
This is going to the ambulance and giving the thumbs up to Ryan Newman. More from Allen.
Bill, just that the team says Ryan reported over the radio that the 04 car basically just stopped in front of him, didn't go off that corner, and they have a little bit of damage on the grill of that car. They don't think it's a problem. They are not going to pit and give up the lead. They being Newman and company.
There you go, Alan. We can see it right there. You can see the damage to the nose of Ryan Newman's car. And that can be a factor here at Bristol because temperatures in the race car can be a huge factor when it comes to oil and water.
Yeah, I don't
on the
think
short track.
I don't think that really closed it up. It doesn't look like it closed it up too bad. We'll keep an eye on that, but there is some damage up there, but I think there's still enough opening, and plus if you're out front, that helps a lot.
Pit road open, not a lot of takers at the front of the field. Ryan Newman stays out under caution here at Bristol. Still under caution here at Bristol for tonight's NASCAR Busch Series race. Down to the track, and here's Dave.
With Reed Sorensen now. Hang on, Weber, I got radios in my ear again. I have to turn one off.
Hey, Dave.
Reed Sorensen very disappointed, I'm sure, and pointing the fingers towards Ryan Newman, who seemed a little impatient.
You know, I think Ryan's just so fast. Maybe he just can't race in the Busch Series. I don't know. I got wrecked at Richmond on the straightaway by him, and I mean, obviously he got in the back of a lap car that was a lot slower than him, and I guess he wanted to get around him then, and I didn't really have anywhere to go. Just stuff like this happens to us all year long, and can't do anything about it. I mean, just load up and go on the next week. But the car was running great. Guys did a great job getting the car ready. It was fast. I felt like we were just as fast as him at least, and just kind of cruising along there, and next thing I know there's a car right in front of me, so y'all came to a quick end.
Reed is yet to win this year. He won't win tonight, obviously, Bill.
Thanks, Dave. Coming to get the green. Be a lot of innocent victims here tonight and tomorrow.
Well, that was one of them, Reed Sorensen. There's no doubt about it. He got the short end of the stick of that deal, and it's too bad because it never seems to happen when you have a really bad race car, only when you have a really good race car.
Newman leads, Boyer in second, Kyle Busch third. Among the guys moving forward in the field, Casey Kane, who started at the back of the field for an engine change, has climbed to 28.
Kyle Busch looking at the back of Boyer's bumper again.
And remember, Clint not very happy with his race car, as Dave reported earlier.
Says his car was a little bit tight, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't look bad right now.
A lot of side-by-side racing in the back.
Harvick going by Leffler. J.J. Yaley trying to follow through.
More on Harvick from Allen.
Yeah, Bill, how do you get a car from the back to the front by the end of the race to the championship leader? Kevin Harvick's crew chief Shane Wilson said first they're going to wait and see what kind of car they have. If it's strong enough, they'll leave him on the track to see how many spots he can gain. If not, they'll try and use some strategy on pit road to get him track position.
Looks like he's got a pretty good car, Alan.
I think I'd vote that way right now too, huh?
Yeah. Up to 16th spot right now. Working on Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's just going to let him go.
And that shows that he knows how fast the 21 is.
But when you look up in the mirror and you see somebody coming that fast, it's like, I mean, well, I can try to, just run in front of him for 5 or 6 laps, or I can just wait till he hits me, and then I'll get out of his way that way. So, like that.
Danny O'Quinn in the 50. Harvick goes by. One of the fun things to watch at Bristol, these good cars that start in the back of the field and can march their way through.
Oh, man.
Denny Hamlin wanted O'Quinn out of the way.
That's twice Hamlin did that to somebody. He did it to Lamar earlier,
yes,
didn't he?
Yes, he did. You don't want to lose contact with the race leaders.
No, you gotta go, and I mean, like you said earlier, that happens a lot here. You gotta just get on somebody's right rear quarter panel, just let them know that you're there. If you're a lot faster, you're going to give a guy a lap or two, but if he doesn't get out of your way and you're a lot faster, that's what you're going to do. You're going to stick it down on the bottom, give him a little bit of a fender.
Pit road update from Marty.
Well, Denny Hamlin's awfully frustrated behind the wheel, not only wanting to get Danny O'Quinn out of the way, but wanting his race car to work a little bit better. Came on the radio under that caution, said this car had just no front grip, guys. It's plowing. We need to pit earlier than we had talked about, and we need some major changes to make this car work better.
It's pretty apparent he doesn't have front grip. He's running into everybody out there.
Jamie McMurray in the 64 behind Hamlin. Harvick.
And Harvick is just marching to the front.
That's Carl Edwards. Now he's right up behind Skinner.
And that'll be for the top 10 if he gets by Skinner. Whoa! Carl Edwards way up the racetrack.
See how Hamlin gets around McMurray here in that 64.
Well, you get to a point where you start doing that to some of these guys and they're going to give it back. It's one thing doing it to a rookie, but it's one thing doing it to guys that have been around for a while.
Matt?
Bill Almirola there in the 19 car right in the middle of those veterans, finding himself in a tough spot. His goal tonight is to get in long laps, not cause a problem for other guys and just make it to the distance. He came on the radio a few laps ago, said the car was good. He's just trying to be patient.
And that can be trying to have some patience. Harvick has made it to the top 10, got around Skinner. He runs 10th. Wimber would be next, Alan.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick just called in on his radio, Bill. Wally, you'd love to have a race car like this. He said, this car is incredible.
Yeah, it looks like it, Alan. I mean, he's gobbling these guys up. I mean, it's not would be, it will be next. Remember, will be next. Then there's Biffle and Menard right ahead of them, so he is making short order of these guys. Now their Busch program this year has been unbelievable. I mean, they have been kicking everybody's butts this year. It's just, it's got to be a blast for that team.
I would think so. And he's only a little over 4.5 seconds behind the race leader. End of the day for the 49 car. Caution is out.
Steve Grissom, yep.
Former series champion.
Yeah, I would see the pits will probably get a little bit busy now.
4 sets of tires on the ground for the NASCAR Busch Series drivers tonight. Dave?
Weber, that puff of smoke can either mean failed engine or sometimes power steering, and that's what it is for Steve Grissom. Still has the motor, but it's going to be tough to steer this thing.
You're right, Dave. That would not be fun. Pit road is open. Under caution, everyone has to enter along turn 2. The leader's staying out.
I think it's still closed, isn't it? Is pit lane open? I see the red lights, but
yeah, I see the green flag waving over there off of turn 2.
Yeah, you're right. Yaley's coming in. Looks like Kenny Wallace, Casey Kane, a few of them.
Curtis Davis is the lucky dog. Let's check on some of these pit stops, first with Matt.
And Bill, you can see they're making a chassis adjustment. Casey Kane pitting on the back stretch. Now remember, started at the back. Trip Bruce said he was going to try to work some pit strategy to try to cycle Casey up to the front. He hit pit road in the 20th position. Casey said the car was pretty good. Just some minor tweaks on the chassis.
Thanks, Matt. Kenny Wallace follows him off of pit road. Leads him off of pit road, actually. Third caution period here at Bristol. Ryan Newman leads Matt Kenseth and Kyle Busch. Field's coming to the green. Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR, has teamed up with Orange County Choppers to benefit the Victory Junction gang. If you'd like a chance to win the benefit bike, log on to victoryjunction.org and look for the sweepstakes, or you can pick up materials at any participating Sunoco location. Conclusion of our third caution period. Matt Kenseth has worked his way up to second place. Kyle Busch, Jeff Burton, Clint Boyer the top 5 behind Ryan Newman.
Green flag, green flag.
And the lap cars here can certainly be a factor.
Yeah, Schrader started up underneath Ryan Newman. Now he's down on the apron. Something happened there, but they really botched up. In fact, I think somebody got in the back of the 21 there for a second.
And Dave Burns reported Schrader had a tire issue earlier in the race. So his problems continue. That's Skinner in the 12. Carl Edwards wants by.
Ooh, Skinner's up there in no man's land right now. He's got a lot of cars on the bottom. Needs to try to tough it out and see if he can wait for an opening and get back in line.
Mike doesn't need a real big opening.
No. Like I said, Mike gets around this racetrack really good. He loves racing at this place. Oh, a little contact there. Trying to force his way down and got it done.
Marco Morello.
Now he can start breathing again.
Murray in the 64.
Here comes Skinner. He's going to, Harvick is going to take a few more. Biffle going down. And that 88 car is a lap down.
Robert Huffman.
Shane Huffman, isn't it? Biffle down on the bottom.
I'm sorry, Shane Huffman, you're right. Up front, Ryan Newman. With Kenseth chasing. And Newman talked before they went green about how good his race car was and the goal to keep it out front as long as he can. How about it, Alan?
Hey, Bill, they continue to watch the water temperature on that car from where the grill got caved in with the crash involving Ryan, Eric McClure, and Narit Sorensen back at lap 24. Matt Gibble, the crew chief, just told Ryan under this last caution they will remove some of the tape from the lower part of the grill on their pit stop. Matt?
17 of Matt Kenseth right behind him, Alan. Now, he too had an issue with water temperature. It was climbing over 240 under an earlier caution. Hasn't said much about it lately, just talking more about the fact the car starts on the tight side, then just gets freer and freer. He wants to make an adjustment, but a small one when they make their pit stop.
We'll keep an eye on that. And
got to try and make your car better.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of opportunities to do it.
You really don't. You really can't spend too much time in the pits making those changes, too, because, I mean, just a couple of extra seconds in pit lane here, you lose about 7 or 8 spots.
Shane Hall in that 28 car has scored 3 laps down, trying to stay out of the way. Mike Wallace
going by Johnny Sauter, 00 car.
And Kevin Harvick has worked his way to 6th.
Lever.
Turn 1 and 2.
Todd was running 24th. And the caution is out for the 4th time.
Car's about 3 feet shorter. See Kenny Wallace down on the inside of him. He just came down across Kenny Wallace.
Shane Huffman in the 88 car is the lucky dog.
I saw him do that earlier to somebody too, and he almost got wrecked. And I don't know if it was the 20 car or maybe even Harvick.
It's a lot of work learning how to race here.
Yes.
Pit road is open. 71 laps are complete. Brian Newman likes being the race leader. He stays out. And looks like that Biffle's going to be the first one to peel off.
Yeah, Biffle would be.
So the top 10 cars stay out here under caution at Bristol. Ryan Newman leads Matt Kenseth, Kyle Busch, Jeff Burton, and Clint Bowyer. Log on to SI.com. You can get breaking sports news, scores, stats, analysis, and more. And for more on NASCAR and Lars Anderson's power rankings, go to SI.com tonight. Greg Biffle pitted. He was running in the 8th position. And now is scored 14th. And most of the field behind him also came in. Some guys elected not to and picked up a few positions. But Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, Kyle Busch, Jeff Burton, Clint Bowyer, Kevin Harvick, Ron Hornaday, Carl Edwards, and Jamie McMurray all stayed out. Field has gotten the 1 to go and will get the green this time. Mike Wallace has scored 10th. Then it's Stephen Light, Augie Vidovich, Stacy Compton, Biffle in 14th. Kenny Wallace scored in 15th. So the top 10 guys that stayed out have track position, but not fuel, haven't been able to work on their cars. See how it plays out here at Bristol. Kenseth trying to get around the lap car.
Danny O'Quinn Jr. in the 50 car.
You can see why Newman would stay out. Good track position. And you want to stay out of this. Sauter. I believe that's the second one he's been around tonight. He was running in the 22nd spot. So we can see what happened here.
20 car had anything to do with that?
Denny Hamlin.
Pushing again, I guess.
Making a lot of friends here. He's definitely got an issue with that front grip.
Yeah.
Check it up in front of you. Check it up in front of you. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down. Get down. You gotta get all the way to the bottom. Get all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom.
Good job. Good job by the spotter there.
Pit road open. And I don't expect we'll have many takers this time either. They got to come eventually, but not yet. Ryan Newman stays out under caution at Bristol.
Only 2 Mondays left, and it's all leading to a back-to-back season finale event. 2 shows, 2 unbelievable endings. TNT Monday starting at 9. The closer followed by Saved.
Field getting the one to go here at Bristol. NASCAR Busch Series tonight. Tomorrow it's the Sharpie 500. For the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, our coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern Time right here on TNT. The Bank of America Countdown to Green. And your Wally's World segment, a guest?
Yeah. Omari Hardwick. Was pretty fun. He was a good guy. He was. I think he enjoyed himself.
It's from the TNT show Saved.
He wanted to keep the suit.
He did?
Yeah. He thought he got the suit. That was part of the deal. He liked that TNT suit.
Newman brings them back to the green flag. Again, the lap car down on the inside.
Green flag, green flag.
Stanley O'Quinn Jr. Newman gets around him, so does Kenseth. Kyle Busch, not quite as easily.
That's a tough spot for Danny O'Quinn to be in right now. Trying to get your lap back, and you got a lot of good race cars in your mirror.
Learning by doing right there.
In a hurry. Now he gets up the racetrack, and
there's no place to hide here.
There really
you try and
isn't.
stay out of the way, but Jeff Burton in the 29 car underneath. Boyer in the 2.
And you see, if you stay high like he's doing, you just lose so much track time.
There's Harvick.
Hornaday's got a good run going right now. He's currently in the 7th spot in that 33 car.
Hornaday, another guy that runs really well here at Bristol.
Kenseth keeping that 39 car in sight.
86 laps are complete. They go by in a hurry here. Let's take you through the field, starting up front with Ryan Newman, and here's Alan.
That would be me, Bill, and not much about the handling of his car from Ryan Newman on his team's radio so far. Just the discussion about the water temperature and the fact that they will remove that tape, as I reported earlier. Newman has led all the way so far, Matt.
And Matt Kenseth trying to chase him down. Now a lot of conversation, Alan, back and forth between Matt and Jimmy Finnick about pitting under that last caution. Matt noted that his mentor in NASCAR, Mark Martin, went about 160 laps and won the truck race on Wednesday night, but they decided to stay out, not pitting until at least lap 100, AB.
Kyle Busch started 6th. He runs 3rd in this race. They're describing a variety of ills with the handling of his car getting into and in the center of the corner. His comment after all that has been the same. It drives off good. He's hanging right in there. Marty?
Behind those guys, Jeff Burton in the 29 Holiday Inn car. So this car a little too tight in the middle, lacking a little front grip. But when he comes off the corner, he lacks rear grip. They make an air pressure adjustment on the next stop. Alan?
How about this drive for Kevin Harvick so far? He started 30th in 90 laps of racing, and that's not 90 green flag laps. He's running all the way up to 4th position, just passing Jeff Burton for that spot a second ago. Kevin Harvick looking to add to his great win record here at Bristol. Dave?
Alan, Clint Boyer restarted 5th, but he quickly fell to position 6 when there was enough room for Kevin Harvick to get by and Clint to fall in behind without getting freight trained. Teammates working together here at Bristol. Alan?
Talked about Ron Hornaday just a second ago, driving the Kevin and Delana Harvick home, number 33, started 9th. He is running in 7th spot right now for Ron Hornaday, rather. Two-time winner here, just wants a little help on the pit stop, getting his car to turn in the corner. Dave?
And Greg Biffle restarted 12th. The car has actually been pretty good. He came in and pitted on lap 71 caution. They made a chassis adjustment, took on 4 tires.
Multi-car crash on the back stretch. That's the 0 of Curtis Davis. At least 2 other cars are involved.
Yeah, he clipped it. Lost it.
2 other cars have driven away. This happened coming out of turn 2.
Tim Sauter in the 36th, and you can see where he talked about just clipping Curtis Davis in the 0 car.
Then Shane Hall got turned as well. Has not been a good night for the Sauter boys.
No, it has not.
Looked like Shane might have just locked him up and spun himself out. There's Curtis Davis. Pit road is open, and here for the first time come the race leaders. Matt?
And they said it is definitely time to hit pit road for the 17 of Kenseth. Slight chassis adjustment. He says the car starts tight but then goes loose and just has no forward bite. So trying to work on that. A little slow in the left rear. He is away. Marty.
Jeff Burton squeezes into these very tight pit stalls here at Bristol. He said he's tight in the middle, loose off the corner. So his biggest concern, though, is a loose off the corner condition. Half pound that left front tire, trying to get the car to turn a little bit better. Dave.
Clint Boyer said we're getting killed in the middle of the corner. That's a track bar adjustment and air pressure adjustment to help the car turn better. Alan.
And no complaints about the handling of this car for Ryan Newman. Watch for them to try and pull a little tape off the nose of this car as they come around the machine. A 4-tire change for the 39, and so far they haven't gotten that tape. We'll see if the front tire carrier goes to get it right now. There he goes. And Newman will not win the race off pit road. That's going to be Matt Kenseth.
And that's not surprising. 17 bunch always has good stops. Mike Wallace did not pit. He is scored as the race leader under caution here at Bristol. This is when it gets exciting here at Bristol. Mike Wallace, Kenny Wallace, Casey Kane, Paul Menard, Mike Skinner are the top 5. Stacy Compton, they all stayed out, as did a number of other drivers. Greg Biffle took fuel only. The other guys took tires and fuel. Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton, Carl Edwards, all too fast on pit road, end of the longest line. That's Mike Wallace in the 1, Kenny Wallace in the 22. That is for the lead.
Up, we got trouble, and Sauter gets his lap back.
It's David Green in the 27, Biffle in the 16. Caution is out. Johnny Sauter, the lucky dog?
No, he got his lap back.
Oh, he got his, okay.
He,
The 27 and then took us into the outside.
he was in front of Mike Wallace when that wreck happened, so good job, Johnny. Too many cars and too little racetrack.
Right. David Green, the victim there. On board with Harvick.
Bernie, go low. Keep digging. Caution's out. Good job.
Looks like Vidovich maybe been right down on the apron underneath David Green. He just ran out of room. Wow, what's 16's in? I didn't think he got too much damage off of that, but
he's taking it right to the rig. We'll check on that. We'll review the leaders when the caution came out. Under caution in the Food City 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series at Bristol. NASCAR Busch Series racing from the Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT, brought to you by Carfax. Never buy a used car without Carfax. Get a Carfax vehicle history report. Ask your dealer or go to Carfax.com. And by Nexium. For more information about Nexium, visit purplepill.com. Okay, first downstairs to Marty and the Biff.
It has just not been a fun Friday for Greg Biffle. What happened this time, Biff?
I don't know, just a little probably lack of experience. They're over aggressive. 4-car got in the 27 and turned him around in front of us, kind of pinned us in the wall. Nothing we can really do. We just feel bad for high-level fusion. You know, the guys worked really hard. It was a good car. Felt like we had the right pit strategy to maybe win us a race, but I don't know. We'll try tomorrow night. We'll be all right.
I think Biffle's had enough fun for this Friday. They're going to park it for the evening, Bill.
Hey, Marty, you got a second?
Yes, sir, I do.
Some of these guys that were caught speeding are pretty unhappy. Is that
They're very adamant, and one of them being Jeff Burton, who is continuing, as a matter of fact, right now, I feel like Dave Burns, my radio's going off in my other ear, but it's continuing right now to say there's no way we were speeding. I came in behind other guys. I was below the pit road speed I got initially when the race started. There's just no way I was speeding. Jeff continuing to argue his case, but as Wally will tell you, that's going to be a moot point because he won't win this argument.
And Matt, you got a similar story with Kenseth?
Bill, believe it or not, they are still, as you see Matt Kenseth driving on the racetrack, discussing his penalty. He'd like to know exactly where he was busted. They told him down in 3 and 4, and he cannot believe it, just like Jeff Burton. Want to know exactly where down there because he feels like maybe the lines are off or something. Still discussions going on, but Wally, like you mentioned during break, it is what it is.
I mean, they obviously want to know so it doesn't happen again, but I mean, I don't think they're looking for oh, we were wrong, get back up to your original spot. So, but it is frustrating when you look at your RPM gauge and you aren't going the speed limit and you get called for it. You want to know why.
Black flag, 77 of Bernie Lamar. We'll check on that. Jeff Burton is currently scored in the 27th position, and Matt Kenseth in 30th. Ryan Newman started from the pole, is 17th, Harvick 18th. Hornaday back there in 19th. Again, these guys stop, and basically it's the top 10, 12 guys did not stop under the last caution. So as you normally have here at Bristol, a number of different strategies unfolding. So the two Wallace brothers will restart 1-2 again. We'll see who gets the better deal coming out of 2. It's our freecreditreport.com pit summary. And again, because a number of drivers stayed out, Ryan Newman went from 1st to 21st. Kenseth with the pit road speeding penalty. Kyle Busch is back there. Came out 27th, and he has worked his way up to 21st right now. 106 laps are complete. There are 31 cars currently scored on the lead lap. Bernie Lamar was black flag, so his team could attend to damage on his race car. So that's Danny O'Quinn in the 50. He is 7 laps down. You wonder why he'd be restarting there.
I really don't know, because he's not going to get 7 laps back, because there are cars ahead of him that would get the lucky dog. And
green flag.
We'll see what happens. Mike Wallace, Kenny Wallace. Running 1-2. Casey Kane in 3rd. Then Menard. Then Mike Skinner. Quinn trying to hold it down there. Basically putting the block on Casey Kane. What do you got on the 50 car, Alan?
2 things, Bill. First line, he got 7 laps down. The team could not hear him on an earlier caution, so they stopped to change his helmet on pit road. Well, as Wally can tell you, you got to hook the straps and the horns and all the rest of it back up. He lost a lot of time getting that done. And why would he restart up there? This is just a guess on my part, but he got on TV, didn't he?
You're right.
He got his horns on TV.
Hornaday's having some fun on that 33 car. There's Ryan Newman in the 39, the pole sitter. McMurray in the 64.
Newman up on the outside. That's a tough way to pass a guy. In fact, he's losing some spots. There's Kyle Busch in the 5 car trying to get that spot away from Ryan.
Side by side.
Pinched him down a little bit. Kyle Busch is going to take that spot anyway.
This is back around the 20th position. Kyle looking inside of J.J. Yaley now.
The 18th spot.
McMurray inside of Huffman. Kyle follows him through. Newman's going to try as well. on the 5 car, Alan.
Yeah, you know, you expect Kyle Busch to contend to win a NASCAR Busch Series race here, Bill, just on his past record. In 4 races, he's got 3 top 3 finishes. That's pretty stellar. The big worry that these guys have now, though, where's the 21 car? Well, he's ahead of them by a bunch.
That's for second. Casey Kane around Kenny Wallace. Now sets out after Mike Wallace. Harvick in that 21 car is in 12th. More on the 9 from Matt.
Bill, we told you about their strategy of trying to work pit stops to get that 9 car to the front. And they made their last stop on lap 72, topped off. Didn't change tires. They did that on their first stop. Casey's only aggravation, the air conditioning hose that goes into the side of the helmet is caught on something on the left side of the seat. And when he turns his head, there's a little bit of a tug. Other than that, the car, not bad. He's just sitting there in 3rd.
That can be aggravating,
yes,
too. It really does bother you.
You can tell this race is getting close to the halfway mark because the intensity coming up a little bit. Stephen Light in the 90.
Got a lot of racing going on back here. It's Johnny Andretti in the 10 car. There's Burton in the 29. Matt Kenseth. These guys are trying to work their way back up to the front of the field. And there's no place to go.
Right. And they're mad.
And they're mad. Oh, you can see how mad Matt was. He got into the 90, and that is going to bring out a caution.
17 just ran over us. I mean, flat ran over us.
And Kenseth and Burton both hit with speeding penalties. Had to restart at the tail end of the longest line. So Stephen Light heads to pit road. We were on it. Here it is. Kenseth at the 17. Go ahead, Wally.
Yeah, Matt on the high side. And he's got a little bit of a run going, but he just gives him a tag going into the corner. That's a tough thing about this place. If you do hit somebody going into the corner, it's pretty hard for that person to save it.
Was that Carl Edwards that came through there and got a piece of that after it was over? Watch for the 60 car here.
Yep,
right there.
You're right. Good call. And it hit that right rear pretty hard, Bill.
On board with Carl.
No. Pretty big shot.
3rd in the championship standings in the NASCAR Busch Series. So we're under caution once again. Our 8th of the night here at Bristol. Looks like the night's over for Stephen Light. We're getting ready to come to the green here. This is Carl Edwards' car, missing some of the sheet metal, and as you can see, he has a little better view now from inside. A little more breeze coming through there.
Well, he'll be able to see who's on his right rear a lot easier now.
Well, no. Casey Kane is the race leader. Mike Wallace came to pit road. We were told by Dave Burns during the caution that Mike Wallace had a radio issue. His crew actually wanted him to pit earlier. So this caution worked out well for him.
Paul Menard all over the back of Kenny Wallace's car. Trying to get underneath him. Or under him completely.
How about through him? There he goes. Menard. Then Skinner. And if they close up, Kenny Wallace is going to lose a lot of spots. Mike Wallace back in 26th after he pitted under that caution, giving up the race lead. Jason Leffler in the 38 inside of Kenny Wallace. Oh! Tried to slam the door on John Wood, thought better of it.
Yeah, he's just, find me an opening. He's yelling at his spotter right now. He wants to get to the bottom of that racetrack. Kenny Wallace is hung up there. He might have a little room here. Nope, that closed up.
And they're starting to jam up behind these guys.
He's got it in there.
And there's Harvick in that 21 car. Harvick runs 8th, trying to get 7th. We check with Allen.
Stephen Light, who's out of his car, he's had a talk with Robert Yates. How'd you see things out there, Stephen?
I don't know. I guess Matt just felt like he needed somebody to run over. I mean, we were just out there trying to survive. It's lap 120 of a 250 lap race. I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, as far as the car goes, I feel really bad for the City Financial team. They did a great job working on it all weekend. It's my first trip to Bristol. It's a pretty cool track. just out there trying to survive, and I don't know what he was thinking.
Was his first trip to Bristol. It probably won't be the last time something like this happens to him here either. Huh, Wally?
No, Alan, you're right. That's just part of this place. Very frustrating.
Harvick passed Kenny Wallace. That's for 6th. That's a great race car he is driving tonight. The 21 ride?
Yeah, he is. He is just flying right now. John Wood in front of him, and not for long.
This is the second time he's worked his way through the field. Started 30th. There's a 504-point lead in the championship standings, does Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, when you just turn underneath somebody getting off the corner like that, you've got a lot of grip in your car.
And these guys know he's coming because the spotters are telling them when the 21 gets there, he's very fast.
That thing is hooked up.
He's about 4 seconds behind race leader Casey Kane. And right behind him, Hornaday in that 33 car. Kenny Wallace trying to get a spot back from John Wood. Amarola. Michael Waltrip. More on Kenny Wallace from Matt.
The former winner just out of your screen there in the 22 car now. A little wiggle by John Wood. Kenny says the car, they've hit it twice, has been loose from the get-go. Went down on the track bar significantly on the last stop. Same car, he finished 8th here in the spring race, which was his first top 10 of the season. Was trying to get a good, consistent momentum run going here tonight, which is what he has running inside the top 10.
And I said Michael Waltrip in that 99 car. That's David Rudiman, of course, driving that car tonight in that 99. See Aaron's, you think Michael Waltrip?
Yep, this is true.
It's good marketing, isn't it? How about that 99, Dave?
They actually pitted twice to fix a little damage on the car and make a chassis adjustment, but it's running pretty well for David Rudiman right now. He restarted 8th, got shuffled out just a little bit there, but they put the car in the top 10, are going to try to stick around there the rest of the night.
Thank you, sir. Clint Boyer right behind him. Got your hands full here all night, don't you?
You really do. Looks like Boyer's car is working pretty good, though. I mean, he's staying down on the bottom pretty good. Looks like he's going to have a little trouble getting off the corners. Gets in good. It rolls right through the center. Really good right here.
Right on the bumper of Rudiman. Rudiman runs in 12th. Boyer in 13th.
Here, working the throttle. Yeah, you don't get any rest around this racetrack.
Matt Kenseth trying to close in. More on the 2 from Dave.
Here's the thing with the 2 right now, Bill. They're done pitting for the night. The problem is the car is still just a little bit tight. So Clint said, I'll deal with it. The crew suggested he dial in a little rear brake on that car to help it turn. He's done that.
It's a great shot of the driver working here at Bristol. Don't keep that steering wheel straight very long here.
Don't.
Although it looks like his car's handling pretty good.
Can really close up coming off the turns. But Rudiman's driving a strong car too.
Man, you are so busy around this place. Tough guys do this 500 laps.
Casey Kane, that 9 car, is the race leader. Carl Edwards about to go another lap down. Currently scored 1 lap down to race leader Casey Kane with 149 laps in the books. 158 laps are complete for the NASCAR Busch Series here at Bristol. Casey Kane in that 9 car is the race leader. Ashton Lewis Jr. was holding up traffic for a while, but they've negotiated through that.
Carl Edwards is doing everything he can not to go down another lap.
There you see Kyle Busch in 10th. A few laps ago, he was on the bumper of Jamie McMurray.
Yeah, he was under the bumper of McMurray. Jamie does a pretty good job hanging on to that car.
Allen.
And right now, Kyle and his crew chief, Chad Walter, just going back and forth on the radio, trying to figure out how to find that last little bit of chassis adjustment they need to get up there and run with Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane and the guys in front of him. Looking to make one more pit stop on this 5 car a little bit later in the race.
How about that? Hornaday and Skinner. They've had some great battles.
Hornaday's looking at taking the 5th spot away from Mike, and here comes McMurray underneath Mike as well.
Good run for Jamie McMurray tonight. You got more on the 64, Marty?
A fantastic run, Bill. And he came on the radio under the last caution and said, what can we do to make the car better? And he said, I don't know, not much. You know, maybe turn a little bit better, but right now I'm pretty happy with it. And obviously on old tires they're fast as well. He's going to try to get around Hornaday. He's worked his way up to the top 5.
Good night for McMurray. Let's see what he can do with Hornaday here.
It'd be tough to pass Hornaday on the high side.
And there is Ryan Newman, who started on the pole. Pit strategy got him trapped back in traffic. And there you can see he's worked his way back up to 8th. More on Ryan from Allen.
Well, a couple quick things on this car, Bill. Watching the temperature. Every 10 laps or so, Ryan Newman calls out the engine temperature. Last number I heard, 250. Remember the grill damage in that early wreck. The other thing, he says his car won't turn like it had earlier in the race, right there in the middle of the corners. So looking to get a little bit of help with that on another pit stop.
The tape they took off of that, in front of that, is that contributing to the turning problems?
Yes, definitely. Did Alan, did you say it's 250 even now?
250, Wally, right. Yes.
That's not good if you get all the tape off it. It's still 250.
McMurray around Leffler. And that's 4th place for the 64 car. And Jason back to 5th.
Yeah, that tape on the grill makes a big difference on helping pin that front of the nose down to the racetrack. It, you know, pins the front down, gives a little bit more grip to those front tires when you're turning right through the corner. And if you take all the tape off, you can really feel it. You lose that grip in the front.
And I'll tell you who else is starting to feel it is Casey Kane. Kevin Harvick has worked his way up to 2nd. And is half a second behind the 9 car.
McMurray taking a look underneath that 11 car of Paul Menard.
Paul's done a good job holding that car down, putting the block on McMurray. Matt?
Bill, they've gone back and forth on adjustments. Now the 11 of Paul Menard, you see, trying to hold off the 64. Now they made an air pressure adjustment the last time. He says now as we got the 29 of Jeff Burton in the wall, Bill.
The wall hard. Caution is out. Number 9, 9th caution.
In the right front. He's bent the front of that car up big time.
I don't imagine he's the happiest guy here at Bristol tonight. Let's see what happened.
Something broke on that car.
Sure did. Just slid up the racetrack.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the right front went flat, but it looked like something broke.
On board with Jeff Burton.
Yeah, hear that?
Lock it now. Hit the wall, guys. Hit the wall. Caution down. Caution down.
Marty?
Jeff Burton said the right front just went on the 29 car without notice. Came on the radio a couple seconds later, said, man, that was a hard hit.
Carl Edwards, the lucky dog. Saw how hard he was working to stay in that position. He got it. Pit road is open. Not a lot of takers at the front of the field. Jeff Burton trying to compose himself, trying to stay relaxed before he climbs out of the car.
And kill somebody.
That might be a little extreme. It's like getting a bad waiter. You don't know who to blame. So Casey Kane stays out. It's Harvick right behind him in second. .174 laps are complete.
I wouldn't give it too many laps before Kevin Harvick is leading this race.
Just completed 175. Exactly 75 laps to go here at Bristol, and that fast 21 car is running second behind Kane. Welcome to Bristol. Here's the Holiday Inn race recap and NASCAR Busch Series racing. 43 cars on the High Bank half mile. Doesn't take long. Jay Sauter, Reed Sorensen, wasn't very happy. Ryan Newman, Todd Cleaver, another Sauter involved.
Another Sauter.
Denny Hamlin's been using his front bumper. Curtis Davis, involved in the multi-car incident. David Green and Greg Biffle right there. Sends Biffle back to the hauler. Stephen Light, he wasn't happy with Matt Kenseth. Carl Edwards got a piece of that. And then Jeff Burton into the wall. And Marty is with Jeff Burton.
And he's come from the hauler, and that was a hard hit. Are you okay?
It didn't look hard on TV.
It didn't look that hard, but I know it didn't feel good.
Yeah, my shoulder hurts anyway. I hurt my shoulder a few weeks ago, and that didn't help it any. But we'll ice it down tonight, and we'll be all right.
I know you had some questions about the speeding penalty earlier.
Well, I thought if they caught us for speeding getting in, like they said, that was an impossibility because everybody on pit road would have been speeding. But then they came back later and said they caught us on exit. So I have no argument about that. If their computer doesn't lie, I just was if they caught us on entry, then I was wondering if we were speeding, everybody else was too. But they're saying now they caught us on exit, so I have no complaint about that.
All right, we're glad to see you're okay.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff's going to head to the hauler, and they're done obviously for the evening, Bill.
Thank you, Marty. Field gets the one to go. 7 cars running among the top 15 stopped. Casey Kane obviously stayed out. Harvick runs second. Among the drivers that pitted, Jason Leffler, Ron Hornaday, Kyle Busch was 9th. Matt Kenseth was 12th. Rudiman was 13th. Denny Hamlin was 15th. So we go through the scoring back here and we look for the Hamlin is back in 14th, Kenseth 13th, Eric Almirola, who pitted, 12th, Kyle Busch 11th, Leffler 10th. So it's Kane, Harvick, Menard, McMurray, Ryan Newman, the top 5, then Mike Skinner, Kenny Wallace, Clint Boyer, David Green, and Jason Leffler, the top 10. 69 to go.
McMurray takes a spot away from Paul Menard. That would be 3rd spot.
And the question is how long till Harvick catches the 9?
Well, Casey Kane got a really good start, a restart on that deal. These guys are wadded up back here.
This is where the mess is. Everybody in front of them pretty much single file. It's David Green in the 27, Ashton Lewis Jr.
Yeah, Boyer just got run into. Made a nice save. I believe that was Leffler that got into him.
Kyle Busch also got by. On board with Kyle. Just in front of this pack, Paul Menard has lost the handle to his race car and lost a couple of positions. Still pretty much single file. The top, now about the top 10 cars.
There's Kenseth in 13th spot.
There's Denny Hamlin working on the bumper of somebody else again.
Still pushing.
Kyle inside of Leffler. Kenny Wallace. All
Kenny
over.
Wallace.
Kyle Busch goes around off the front end of Leffler. And watch for the accordion behind him.
He's letting you go. Dig.
Caution number 10 is out.
That was just a chain reaction. Kenny Wallace was all in the back of Mike Skinner's bumper.
Let's come home.
Go back and watch this.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch comes up and just checks up a little bit, and Leffler just drills him. Couldn't see what was going on up ahead of him.
Nice save by Kyle,
Yeah,
though.
no kidding.
Spun it around, kept going.
I don't know how that didn't become about a 5-car wreck.
I don't know either. Look at Kenny, all over him. John Andretti is the lucky dog. That'll put 26 cars back on the lead lap. On board with Kyle.
Come on, there we go.
Just gets by Leffler here.
Outside.
Watch
Corner.
him close up on the
Clear.
22.
You're clear. Watch these cats checking up.
And you heard the spotter say checking up.
But he checked up.
Yeah, he did.
Leffler did.
Got behind us. Nice job by Kyle.
Newman and Kyle now.
Yep.
On pit lane.
Heading all the way for you, Alan.
Yeah, giving up 4th place on the racetrack, Bill, because something doesn't feel right under the right front of this car. He thought maybe a loose wheel. Crew Chief Matt Gimbels also told him to check the right front wheel bearings while they have that tire off to see if they can see anything unusual. They're going to make an adjustment on the chassis and hit it with some fuel as well, but checking under that right front to see if anything is amiss on Ryan Newman's car. It must have felt awfully uncomfortable for him to give up 4th place this late in the race, huh?
You're exactly right. Especially with those 26 cars on the lead lap. He'll have his work cut out for him with just 61 laps to go. See the 22 seconds and change on the pit stop. They talk it over with the crew. Kyle Busch, nifty save. Then he comes down pit road under caution at Bristol. Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, Tennessee, one of the most popular stops on the NASCAR circuit. Tonight it's the NASCAR Busch Series, just 58 laps remaining when they get the green flag this time. Casey Kane leads Kevin Harvick. And Alan's working on a story with Ryan Newman down on pit road, but the report from AB was a broken wheel on the 39 car of Ryan Newman.
Look at this jam up here.
When you get the double file restarts here late in the race, a lot of traffic. And there's a lot more take than give.
Yeah, and Boyer's in a spot I don't think he wants to be in.
And Kevin Harvick wants the spot that Casey Kane has, the lead.
Oh, he gets just to the back of Casey Kane. Gets him a little bit out of shape. Man, what, McMurray is right there, too.
Kevin Harvick leads.
McMurray's going to take 2nd spot. Down on the bottom of Casey Kane, and he's got a little bit of advantage getting in at 3. Going to take that spot.
Shane Huffman in that 88 car scored 1 lap down, but running with the race leaders right now. Marty on McMurray.
And get this, guys, McMurray doesn't like the way his car is handling right now. Under the last caution, he described it as horrible. Says feels like all the tires are flat. When I'm out there, I just have no grip. There's no way I'm going to catch that 21 car, Matt.
And Marty, remember the 9 of Casey Kane? He took tires back on lap 53, just gas only on 72. A little older tires, the car a little tighter in spots, but he got off the bottom and then got freight trained.
Harvick, the 4th race leader. It's Ron Hornaday and Kenny Wallace. Hornaday in the 33, Wallace in the 22.
For 8th spot.
And they run up on some lap traffic. Ryan Newman has led 95 laps tonight. Kane 72. Alan, what are you working on?
Bill, just confirmation of what happened to Ryan Newman's car. You see the crewman huddled over the right front tire on that machine down here on pit road. The center section of the wheel, where the lugs go, there are actually cracks in that wheel around some of those lug holes down through that center section of the rim. Very fortunate thing for Ryan Newman that they caught that before it broke and he crashed.
Boy, you're not kidding. Well, he said he felt something was broken. He was right. Mike Wallace has led 27 laps, and now Harvick has led 7. Wallace in the 1, Newman in the 39. Got a long way to go here, though. Ryan back in the 16th position. Kevin Harvick has fought his way to the lead, but Jamie McMurray trying to hang on to his bumper. Casey Kane runs 3rd at Bristol. Under caution for the 11th time tonight here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Jamie McMurray was running 2nd. He was part of it, and this took a long time.
It really did. The 19 car gets loose.
No caution yet.
Then Bernie Lamar gets around. Then these guys just start spinning.
And we're told there was oil on the racetrack.
It sure looks like it. See Almirola, he gets out of shape. And Bernie Lamar gets all over the 2 car.
And then these guys come off the turn. Looked like Huffman ran into the back of the 64. And then they got soldered.
Is there any solders left that haven't been wrecked yet?
Not yet, Dave.
Here's the Boyer in the race. He had a very tight race car on that. On those last 20 laps, he fell from 8th to 24th, partially because his car wouldn't turn, but then when he got freight trained to the outside, you guys have seen it all night, he just got shuffled to the back. They make a wedge adjustment and 4 tires for Clint.
He heads back out. He's 4th in the Busch Series Championship standings, but right now on the racetrack, Kevin Harvick is the race leader with 40 to go. Red flag is out here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The cars have been parked along the front stretch while the rescue crews attend to the 36 car of Tim Sauter, which is up against the inside wall on the back stretch here at Bristol. Here's the caution.
Almirola again gets sideways. And Lamar comes in on the 2 car, spins out. Then Sauter and McMurray. Sauter took a pretty good hit right behind the, or right in the left rear of his car.
There you see the 36, that's Tim's car. And Huffman sliding in there, and McMurray there as well. They continue to work on Sauter's car. Let's check with Marty.
And Jamie McMurray standing here still in a bit of disbelief, I would think, running 2nd at the time. What happened, Jamie?
I saw Kevin check up getting into turn 1, and my spotter didn't say anything, so I kept going, and then he said they're spinning on the backstretch, so I started to slow down, and I guess the 88 just didn't hear it in time. Bristol's very frustrating with situations like that because everything happens so fast and just frustrating. Our top flight car was really good. It didn't feel good, but the lap times were good, so very happy with my guys. It's just Bristol can be frustrating.
All right, he said it felt horrible, but he was telling me moments ago, he said, I think I might have been able to catch the 21 there at the end of that run. Phil?
Thanks, Marty. They continue to work on the car of Tim Sauter on the backstretch here at Bristol. We're under the red flag. 212 laps are complete. 38 to go. Kevin Harvick is scored as the race leader. The NASCAR Busch Series still under the red flag here at the Bristol Motor Speedway with 212 laps complete, but we do have good news. Tim Sauter just about 2 minutes ago able to climb out of his race car in a neck brace, was put on a stretcher, then loaded into the ambulance and is headed for the infield care center. A hard hit, Wally.
Yeah, it got hit real hard, and that's a great sign, obviously. They'll take him out more precautionary, check things out. But he did, that's what we've said it a couple times tonight, you know, you hit hard at this place when you crash.
Waiting for the cars to refire here, still under the red flag. NASCAR getting ready to refire the engine, so we'll take another break and then we'll come back. Still got 38 laps to go here at Bristol. NASCAR Busch Series racing from the Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT is brought to you by AmeriQuest Mortgage, proud sponsor of the American Dream. By Harley-Davidson, it's time to ride. And by Allstate, official insurance sponsor of NASCAR. The Bristol Motor Speedway. Race fans wait all year for this weekend. Back-to-back night races. Tonight it's the NASCAR Busch Series, and tomorrow 160,000 plus fans will be here to watch the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series in the Sharpie 500. Still under the red flag as track cleanup continues. Just about done with it on the backstretch, getting all the vehicles back into their proper position, all the safety vehicles. This is the caution that led to the red flag. Watched for the 36 car of Tim Sauter. There it is right there, spinning out. And then gets a double hit from the 88 and from McMurray in the 64. Now this is on board with Kevin Harvick, the race leader.
Watch your back. Wow. They got to throw the damn yellow.
Let's check on pit road with Alan.
And Kevin Harvick's crew chief, Shane Wilson. Shane, you were talking to your driver when this red flag came out about guys behind him maybe being a little faster. Who are you worried about, and can he hold them off?
Well, we hope so. You know, I mean, the strategy we hope will work. You never know, and the way the cautions and all work out. But 17's definitely coming. But we got a pretty good car tonight. The Coast Guard Chevrolet's been real good, and we'll just see whose strategy works the best. And it should be a real exciting race to the finish.
All right, Shane, thanks. Started 30th, only pitted once so far tonight. Matt?
Allen through 212 laps so far. You'd have to give the 9 team an A for effort and for strategy. Tripp, you've worked everything to perfection getting your man up front. Does the cooling off period help or hurt you the way Casey's car was running?
I think it's got to. You know, it's been a long time since we brought the auto value bumper-to-bumper Dodge into the mix here and put 4 tires on it. So, you know, anything that can help save them here at the end. It's going to be about 35 laps to go. And we've got quite a few laps on our tires, but we'll keep charging all night long, and you know, we're going for a victory here, and that was the plan when the race started. We started in the back, put it together to get him back up front, and from there on out, we'll do the best we can.
Casey chasing his 5th NASCAR Busch Series victory. Had to start from the back today. His car was a little tight before that red flag period.
Thanks, Matt. Behind him, Matt Kenseth, Jason Leffler, and Paul Menard. Red flag, 10 minutes and 15 seconds for 41-year-old Tim Sauter, who's been taken to the infield care center here at Bristol. Green in the air. 35 to go at Bristol.
Whoa! 17, Matt Kenseth shoots underneath. Casey Kane for the 2nd spot. He wants Harvick. And Casey's kind of a sitting duck there. I mean, he's on older tires than these other cars, so you kind of knew that was coming. But boy, Kenseth just closed up all over Harvick.
We've had 11 caution periods. The Bristol record is 14. And we might have some more in the next 34 laps.
More than likely.
Kenseth, earlier in the race, hit with the same pit road speeding penalty that Jeff Burton got. Wasn't happy with it. Has worked his way back to 2nd. Another fast car we were talking about earlier was Jason Leffler.
Yeah, Jason is
38.
Good race car.
Crash on the backstretch. Kenny Wallace. John Wood just got a piece of it.
Look at that car. Wow.
That's flat.
He clobbered the wall with that thing.
This would be caution number 12. Looking for the 22 car right in the middle of the screen there.
Looks like he's just going to get hooked. Tries to save it, and right straight into the wall. See, Kenny, he's got all the wheel turned to the right, and then that thing just hooks.
The 00's Johnny Sauter. then John Wood couldn't avoid it. On board with Carl Edwards.
Right in front of here. Right in front of you. Oh, low.
Carl's gotten to meet a few people tonight. Under caution again at Bristol. Have a need for speed? Win big in the Zantac Need for Speed Instant Win Game. Win a 2007 Ford Mustang, a trip for two to Talladega Super Speedway, and meet AmeriQuest racing driver Greg Biffle. The Zantac Need for Speed Instant Win Game. Look for specially marked packages for details. Kenny Wallace climbed out of the car under his own power, walked to the ambulance. That's the gate along the backstretch here just before you dive into turn 3. It's being opened so that ambulance can leave, taking Tim Sauter to a local hospital to get checked out. Tim involved in a hard crash here just a few minutes ago. You see they took the field down pit road to open a path for the ambulance to leave the Speedway. And we send our best wishes with Tim. And you can see another ambulance comes in to replace that one. So they always have the proper vehicles inside the track. Two others at the care center. One just dropped off Kenny Wallace. Kevin Harvick, the race leader, under caution, leads the championship, leads the race. Having a good season. Still under caution here at Bristol. Kevin Harvick is the race leader. Matt Kenseth runs second. Was the winner 1 week ago in the NASCAR Nextel Cup race at Michigan. He started the week with some friends of his in Detroit.
I'm a big football fan. I actually grew up in Wisconsin. You doing a little reconnaissance work for the Packers here? What's bringing you? Yeah, I'm just checking it out. Spying for them.
Hey, where the stereo at it? Ain't no stereo?
What's that? Yeah, fire it up.
There's no engine in there or what?
Yeah, it probably is.
Demo car?
That's a show car. It's one of our old race cars, so I don't know what number car it is. I don't know where we raced that last, but it's probably a car we raced like 2 or 3 years ago.
Matt Kenseth spending some time with the Detroit Lions. Of course, Matt, a huge Green Bay Packers fan, so we'll get to the bottom of that tomorrow. Bank of America Countdown to Green, 7 o'clock Eastern time right here on TNT, leading up to our coverage of the Sharpie 500. Want to win 10,000 gallons of free gas? Enter the Free Fuel 5000 sweepstakes from Sunoco and TNT. Go to freefuel5000.com for details. 23 laps to go. We continue to work caution. Track cleanup is continuing. A lot of speedy dry down on the racing surface, so they're trying to get that out of the way. Then we'll go back to green flag racing. Matt Kenseth in second behind Kevin Harvick. All you need to know, Bristol, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, TNT. If you miss the countdown, you start the race a lap down, and you don't want to be a lap down at Bristol. Sony, the official high-definition television of NASCAR on TNT, takes your NASCAR experience to another level with Sony Full HD 1080, the world's most powerful HD experience. Just 19 laps to go. Field will get the green this time by. Harvick leads Kenseth, Kane, Leffler, Hornaday is fifth, then Menard, Hamlin, Rudiman, Ryan Newman, and Kyle Busch, the top 10. And patience won't be a factor here.
No.
Only one car in the inside lane.
And 19 laps to go, and these will take long to get through. Good restart. Kevin Harvick. It's like Hornaday's going to take a spot away from Leffler. Gets 4th spot, and 17 is all over Kevin Harvick.
Gonna look to the inside into one. Harvick closes the door.
Wow, he closed the door.
Now, Kenseth looking to the high side. That is a tough move to make.
No kidding.
Into 3.
Where did that come from? And it's sticking up there. Wow, that was a strong move by Matt Kenseth. I don't think Harvick, he's trying to figure that one out.
He said he's up there, but it's never going to work.
Right.
But it did. Matt Kenseth to the race lead. 16 to go, now 15.
Casey Kane still running strong in that 3rd spot.
Kenseth trying to drive away.
That would be that'd be a good thing. We got a guy in the wall off of 2.
On the backstretch.
Kevin LePage. Kevin was having a good run tonight too.
That would be caution number 13.
Well, let's see. He's got Skinner behind him. Got a couple of cars in front of him. Mike just turns him enough to ruin a night.
Yep.
Kevin was running good. He was in the top 15, I believe.
Was scored in the 16th position, so you're right there, just outside the top 15. Alan, how about Harvick giving up the lead?
I want to know his reaction on the radio after the caution came out.
I'd love
Matt Kenseth's pass. He said, wow.
Yeah. How'd he do that?
He said, good move. And then he said it was nice to have somebody pass you instead of run you over these days.
Regan Smith gets the lucky dog. He was the only car 1 lap down. So he'll get to come around and be back on the lead lap. Matt Kenseth around the outside of Kevin Harvick. Some great driving by a couple of guys right there. Closing laps at Bristol coming up. Getting ready to go green. Matt Kenseth is the race leader. There is some concern on his part that he might have a tire going down.
Yeah, Harvick got out before when he lost the car a little bit when Kenseth was on the high side. Harvick did get into Matt, and it's a possibility you could cut a tire down in that situation, but Matt's running pretty good right now.
Or he could have been bluffing. Hoping the other guys were listening to his radio. Matt, what do you know?
Bill, he wasn't sure if he got in the wall or if it was the contact with Harvick, but his spotter said the right side of the car looked okay, but Matt said the back of the car felt kind of weird, so that's why he thought he might have had something amiss.
Thanks, Matt.
I just ran the fastest lap, so I think he's good to go.
7 to go this time by. There's Kenseth off of 4.
Oh, the 39 gets into the 20 coming off of 4. And now Boyer gets spun around, and he's going to back right into the 20.
14 caution.
Typical of the end of a Bristol race. I mean, oh, we only got 20 laps to go. This won't take long. What was I thinking? And what I said in the opening, everybody's okay for the first part of the race, but when you get down to the end, see 39 gets in the back of the 20, turns him around. Somebody gets back into the 2.
Because Boyer probably slowed up and whoever was behind him didn't.
Finishes off.
On board with Ruderman.
Straight. Caution job behind you.
On board with Boyer.
Okay, now watch. He'll start checking up in front of him. He gets in the back of the Sauter's car.
And then finds Hamlin.
I mean, that's the second guy Newman's run over tonight.
Just a little hard racing among friends, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you can see what you can get away with.
Okay, now the previous caution to this. Here's what happened.
Yeah, here's Skinner getting in the back of LePage. He hooks him. Almost similar to what Kenny Wallace, you know, Kevin had it cut.
And it hooked up.
The car gripped. Then it,
and watch this. Yeah. This is under caution while we were in commercial.
Watch right here, under caution. LePage decides to Smack Skinner. He's going to have a little meeting with NASCAR, I believe, after the race.
He was parked after that, and you're right. Driver, crew chief, and spotter for a post-race meeting with NASCAR. There's Skinner's car.
On TV right now on that left rear, so on that big screen up there. Keep looking at it.
He's lucky.
Yes.
Because he caught him behind the left rear and not in the left rear.
And there's the car of LePage. So Kevin will have some explaining to do. Clint Boyer has returned to pit road. The crew works on his car. We're down to 4 to go.
And there's a pretty big rip in Ryan Newman's right front fender right now.
And he had that nose damage from earlier in the race. There's Newman's car.
Car's probably going to be a little bit of a handful now.
Pace vehicle to pit road. Be 3 to go when they get the green this time. Harvick's going to try and stick with Kenseth. Again, remember, Matt concerned about maybe having a right side tire issue. Two to go. Kenseth off the win at Michigan in the Nextel Cup race.
There's a lot of guys leaning on each other right now. There's Hornaday. Good run from Ron Hornaday into 3rd spot. Takes it from Casey Kane.
Last lap. There's your leader, Matt Kenseth. Made that nifty pass on the outside of Harvick. Into turn 4 for the final time. A wild night at Bristol, and Matt Kenseth survives and takes the win. And it's still not over. Hang on.
Awesome job, Matt. Thanks, man.
They all made it across, and now we'll find out who's really mad at whom.
Exciting event, isn't it?
That was a very impressive pass.
That was really nice. You know, no matter how many times you come to these races, and I'm not talking just about Bristol, but any race, you will almost always see something you haven't seen before. And that's a strong move, and it's been done here before, but it's very impressive.
And I'll guarantee you, that took Kevin by surprise. I mean, like you said, okay, he's up there, but he ain't going to pull this off. And when he did, I'm sure Kevin was just like, wow.
So Matt Kenseth won last Sunday in the Nextel Cup race at Michigan. Comes to Bristol, wins the Busch race here tonight. And goes to victory lane in the Food City 250. Matt Yoakum.
And Jimmy Finnick has gone to victory lane in a lot of different series. But Jimmy, tonight's your first in the NASCAR Busch Series. Congratulations.
I appreciate that. I was telling Matt on the radio, that's first time I ever got a victory as crew chief in the Busch car, so it felt great.
And a big recovery by you and this team from the pit road speeding penalty.
Yeah, I mean, Matt did a great job. He was patient, came through there real nice, picked them off one at a time, and marched to the front.
His first win in almost over a year. Bill?
Thanks, Matt, and congratulations to Jimmy, who truly is one of the nicest guys in the garage, no matter which garage he's working. So that's a big win for him. Victory lane here at Bristol. A place every driver wants to be. And so does every reporter. Dave?
Yeah, and I didn't make it there tonight. Ron Hornaday almost did, finishing 3rd tonight. Ron, great run for you guys.
I tell you what, Wally and the guys are so awesome on this Outdoor Channel Chevrolet. What a weekend. I mean, we were terrible in the truck, and I got to apologize to AES and our new sponsors and everything. It's so cool right now. But to come home 3rd, these guys adjusted on this thing. We were terrible, 30th in the first practice, and thanks to Outdoor Channel again. I mean, sticking with me. What a good car. We had a long run. I knew we were better than Kevin. Might have had something for the 17, but I don't know. But very, very excited for everybody.
Great run for the veteran tonight. Alan?
Kevin Harvick moving over to take a seat on the wall here after finishing 2nd. After leading all those laps, how much is 2nd place pleasing? How much is it disappointing?
Well, I mean, you always want to win, but our U.S. Coast Guard Chevrolet was good tonight, and I got into the 39 there on that, last time we pitted. And ever since that point, it knocked the fender and it was a little bit tight. But I knew we were in trouble when those guys came up with fresh tires and were behind us, because tires did mean something, but a lot of fun racing with Matt. I said I'm going to protect the bottom. Got in a speedy drive, drove around the top. So that's pretty cool. I told him on the radio it was a lot of fun. Nobody running over each other, just good, hard Bristol racing.
All right, Kevin, and he protects his lead in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. Bill?
Thanks, Alan. Kevin's wife, Delana. And about a 519-point lead in the championship standings. Marty got the call for victory lane tonight. How's that feel?
It feels great, Bill. It probably feels better, though, for Matt Kenseth. And at the end of that run, he said, you know, it was a lot of fun racing for the win against Kevin Harvick. But the outside pass, that was quite impressive by this young man. How in the world do you pass someone on the outside at Bristol like that?
It was the only way to pass him. You know, he was out of the bottom, so I tried him a couple times in the bottom and couldn't get him. And you know, Kevin's a great competitor, and you know he's not going to make it easy on you. So my car had such good stick on restarts, so I just decided to drive to the outside. So these guys at American West Fusion did a great job. It's a lot of fun working with these guys and Jimmy Fenning, and just real proud to get him a win.
Tell us about those last few restarts. I know you were worried. You said you might have thought I had a tire going down. Something didn't feel right. What was going on?
Well, me and Kevin, we got together a little bit. I don't know if I scraped the wall or what, but my car kind of lifted up in the left rear like a dirt car. It just felt funny, but it still handled fine. So, you know, we had a lot better tires than they did at the end, and I got caught speeding, which I think they got a mistake on pit road because I didn't really think I was speeding, but we got caught speeding, and that actually changed our pit strategy. Actually won the race for us. That was good. Thanks.
I was going to say, how did you come back from all that? Because you and Jeff Burton were kind of working your way through the field together.
Yeah, well, you know, we worked our way as far as we could forward, and after that we ran out of tires, couldn't go anywhere, so we decided to pit again, loosen the car up, and go at it. And had a good pit stop when we needed it, and got to get a run at him, so it was fun.
For the first time this year, Matt Kenseth winds up in victory lane in the Busch Series. He told the guys afterwards, you deserve this. You've given me a lot of winning race cars this year. This is the first one I've won for you.
Thanks, Marty. NASCAR Busch Series racing from the Bristol Motor Speedway on TNT, brought to you by CRAFTSMAN. CRAFTSMAN tools are the official tools of NASCAR. CRAFTSMAN at Sears. And by U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life. Dave Burns.
Casey Kane with by far his best Busch Series race here at Bristol. You okay with fourth place?
Yeah, not too bad. We having to start dead last tonight. We had to use some pit strategy to get to the front, and just we were tight there at the end. The tires kind of gave up, and I think it was over 200 laps on our tires. So it was good for auto value bumper to bumper Dodge Charger. Ended up good. Pretty happy with it.
Tires gave up. Casey did not. Matt?
Dave, Ryan Newman looking over what's left of the 39 in the front. Issues by the grill and also issues in the right front. Tell your stories.
Well, I had a great all-told Dodge first of all, but got cycled back there on pit stops, and that wasn't bad, but the bottom line was we had a right front wheel that broke, and we pitted and had to come down pit lane and go clear to the back, and got up to the front, got towards the front again, and got in the back of the 20 car a little bit on accident and spun him around. Didn't mean to do that, but I'm sure he probably sees it a different way, but just a good run for us. These guys are doing a great job with this Busch effort. Penske Jasper engines are strong, and just keep going. Wish we could have won one. We had a fast race car, could have won one, just wrong place, wrong time.
He finishes 6th tonight. Alan?
20th to 5th for Jason Leffler. Jason, it looked for a while like you had the fastest car on the track. Cautions keep you from having enough laps to do anything with it?
Yeah, I mean, our Great Clips Monte Carlo was really good on long runs. Strategy worked out good for us. This is like a win. I've struggled in every car I've got until I got over here to Braun Racing and started driving the Great Clips car, and we run good every time. So I got to thank Todd Losey and everybody, Todd Braun and the whole Braun family for all their support, and it's a good day for us.
All right, the smile shows a top 5 finish for Jason Leffler.
I imagine he's really happy. Take a look at the championship standings in the NASCAR Busch Series. Kevin Harvick.
He finally got in the fives. 519 points ahead of Carl Edwards. Wow.
Edwards gets back into second place despite that modified-looking race car. Kyle Busch picks up a spot all the way back to Kenny Wallace in 10th. Tomorrow, TNT is right back here at Bristol. Can Matt Kenseth get back to victory lane and sweep? We'll see. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. with the Bank of America countdown to green. You miss the countdown, you start the race a lap down. Coming up next, a new generation carries on an old tradition. Don't miss Robert De Niro in Goodfellas next on TNT. For our entire TNT race family, Bill Weber, Wally Dallenbach, Dave Burns, Marty Snyder, Alan Bestwick, and Matt Yoakum. Thanks for having us in for the race. We'll see you tomorrow with Benny at 7 o'clock here at Bristol.